Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a fascinating and honestly kind of shocking look at a topic that connects a famous fairy tale character directly to our modern-day beauty routines. It's really a story of history repeating itself, just in a way you probably wouldn't expect.
So think about this. What if the hair you're wearing right now is low-key giving Mad Hatter vibes? I know, it sounds like a totally wild question to ask, right? But I want to pose this to you right at the top because the comparison between that classic character and the hair products we use today is incredibly accurate. And well, it's a little scary once you actually look at the facts. Okay, let's dive into this with our first section, the Mad Hatter story and a hidden danger. You know, to really understand what's happening right now with modern hair care, we kind of have to look back at the history behind that famous story. We've all heard of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, right? The Tea Party guy acting all wild. But where does that phrase, mad as a hatter, actually come from? Well, back in the 19th century, hat makers used a chemical called mercury to treat their hats. It was just a totally normal part of the manufacturing process for an everyday accessory. But over time, because of that hidden toxic mercury, these hat makers started suffering severe neurological issues. They got shaky, confused, they had these massive mood swings. The chemical they were working with and wearing was literally altering their minds and bodies.
Now let's fast forward to now with our next section, today's hidden hair chemicals.
And this brilliantly illustrates our point, because we're going to do a sharp pivot from the 19th century straight into our modern era of wearing wigs, braids, and extensions. The parallel here is absolutely striking. In the 19th century, people wore hats every single day that contained hidden toxic mercury. Today, we wear modern synthetic hair every day that contains hidden toxic chemicals. It's a completely different time, but it's the exact same pattern repeating itself. Back then, it was hats with hidden chemicals. Now it's hair with hidden chemicals. And just like those folks in the 19th century, most people today don't even know what's actually in the material sitting right on top of their heads.
To really wrap your head around the scale of this problem, consider this staggering number: over 900. Yes, scientists are finding more than 900 different chemicals in modern synthetic hairpieces. 900! I mean, that just goes to show you the massive, invisible problem that's literally hiding in plain sight.
Now, what's really interesting is when we look at our next section, what is actually in it? Breaking down the plastics. So we know there are hundreds of chemicals, right? But what exactly are they? Well, researchers have found some truly terrifying elements hiding in synthetic hair. First up on the list is lead. Lead is found in most synthetic hair, and it is highly toxic to the body. It is absolutely not something your body wants in any capacity. On top of that, they're also finding chemicals directly linked to cancer, along with hormone disruptors. I mean, these are intense, heavy-duty chemicals, and they are sitting directly on the wearer's scalp for weeks, sometimes months at a time.
But the danger isn't just when it's sitting there. Think about the styling process for a second. Imagine melting plastic and then just breathing it in. That is basically what's happening when certain synthetic hair gets heated up for styling. You're creating and breathing in toxic fumes that act just like an invisible smoke.
Which brings up a great question. Why is all this stuff even in the hair to begin with? Well, it really boils down to this. Synthetic hair is essentially plastic. It gets heavily treated with all these added chemicals simply to make it look good and, last a bit longer. It's so crucial to realize that it's not just hair you're buying. It's a chemically treated material that is going to be resting directly on your head, right against your skin.
Okay, let's move into our final section, the scalp detox solution and moving smarter. Look, we know people aren't going to stop getting hair installs. And honestly, they shouldn't have to. We just have to be proactive and, frankly, move smarter about how we do it. Let's break down the foundational logic here, so simply that a 12-year-old can understand it. Think of your scalp exactly like the rest of your skin. You wouldn't put fresh lotion on dirty skin, right? Of course not. You'd wash it first. There are no shortcuts here. You absolutely must clean the scalp before adding any new hair or material to it.
So here is the simple Move Smarter protocol. Step 1, clean the scalp. Step 2, detox with ToxiTress. And Step 3, install the hair safely. By just walking through these 3 simple steps, you ensure that you aren't trapping everyday buildup, natural oils, and those hundreds of toxic chemicals tightly against your skin.
And this is exactly where a product like ToxiTress comes in. It specifically works to detox and reset your scalp before you install anything. It just highlights the incredible benefit of starting fresh. Instead of trapping all that stuff against your skin, you're hitting the reset button. A clean foundation equals healthier hair. It really is that simple.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought.
The real question isn't just what style you're getting, it's what is sitting under your style. I challenge you to look past the aesthetics of the hair and really focus on the foundational health underneath it all. Start fresh, clean the scalp, and make sure you aren't walking around with modern-day Mad Hatter energy.